So are both of you saying, um, Brendan, you have two contracts, right? So let's say one contract is eligible for the max HEI reward, and one is eligible for none. Are you not treating those contracts differently at all?
No, I think that, what we are actively doing is we are trying to, in a ideal state, we are trying to close every social risk factor gap that there is, regardless if we qualify for the HEI or not. Again, probably biggest, it's the right thing to do, but also we'll see a positive impact on the improvement measure. Um, because as I was saying earlier, if you only need to get 7 members to move to a significant improvement, if those 7 are all members who fall in the social risk factor group, even better. Um, and we'll also see a overall improvement in our performance outside of that improvement measure. As you look at your size of your denominators, or let's think about the hybrid measures where you have 411. If you get a sample that has a lot of those social risk factor members in it, you'll be thanking yourself that you paid attention to this population earlier on, even if you don't qualify for that HEI. One piece that I kind of want to tag on to, what Nate was saying as we think about this being a component of the larger health equity ecosystem, for lack of better words, something that I think is really interesting, and I'm very glad that we did this early on, is we worked with our analytics folks to identify who this population is. Um, Historically, realistically, and transparently, when we think about the MMR files, we had never really looked at that original reason for enrollment flag. So I remember when it came out in the proposed rule, and I think all of us were at the same conference in San Diego when it happened, and we all kind of stared at each other and said, "Uh-oh." Uh, but while I was sitting there, I was sending emails to our analytics folks saying, "Hey, can somebody find this flag in the file, and let's start looking at that." And once we got over that hurdle, we started doing heat mapping, and let's see where these populations are, and let's map this up against some of the other data we have, and let's look at area deprivation index, and let's look at food deserts and public transportation barriers and all these pieces that we're using, as we're thinking about outreach, thinking about supplemental benefits and stuff like that as well. We're using all of these data sources together to overall, really try to drive a better state of healthcare in the state of Rhode Island by focusing on some of these populations that we're seeing, may have been left out.